Hello, welcome to a slightly different Greff's Couch Pod. Today I wanted to do something a little different and share all of the ways that you could work with me. I know I'm constantly talking about them on social, and they're also always changing and evolving. So I was thinking that having it all in one place could be helpful. So as we are rolling into January 2023, I am getting back to my roots, I would say. Last year was an evolution, an experience, a trying things on for size, so to speak. And I was doing a lot of exploring kind of the business world and, doing more business teachings. And I started to realize there was just some energetic resistance there. I'd gone into, now looking back, some conclusion about shoulding, like I should do this or this is the right thing. And I get this will be a whole episode in itself. And I'm just recognizing that is not the most ease. When I'm asking for and requesting that all of life comes to me with ease, then for what purpose do I choose challenges? And so I got it that I was being called back to really the foundations of mindset, psychology, and just done a different way. So I get my evolution is going to look different and also maybe similar to how it was in the past. So I'm curious where that will all go. But that's also informing then, of course, the offers I'm creating. So I'm at this time, always reserving the right to change my mind, right? As an entrepreneur, following the energy. It's hard to say, never say never, of course. And at this time, my business programs are going to be discontinued. So my EFC mastermind and my Activate membership are going to end. That one's going to end in February, so at the end of people's rotation, so to speak, with it. And I'm looking to focus back on really, again, the foundation. So what's coming up right away within the first week of January are a couple of new and new-ish things. So the one that I've been talking about the most is the Nervous System Sanctuary. And this is brand spanking new. This is a membership subscription for you to have weekly, this is insane, weekly live calls with me to practice your nervous system regulation skills. And as I've talked about in the past, I was just really getting that, people are really addicted to consuming the information, and then there's some resistance to the application. I mean, myself included. I love consuming tons of information. So I thought, why not just have a space where we can practice the tools in real time? So I'm not totally sure what this will look like, as everything, it does evolve. However, as of now, it's going to be weekly half-hour live calls where I'm guiding you through some sort of regulation practice. Now, a lot of things help us regulate and self-soothe. So I'm curious what will come out of this. I mean, already I see guided breathworks, tappings, meditations, hypnosis, and what other kind of live meditation where we're working on letting go of judgment or really massive things that tend to activate the nervous system? Or what does it take to rewire to have more confidence with setting boundaries, right? So that you're not as activated. There's just so many possibilities here that I get is going to make a huge impact. And not only does nervous system work obviously really facilitate us feeling better each day, our mental health, our physical health, just all the things where nervous system is really at the root of a lot of that. However, I see it tied to all these other things like leaping towards your dreams, like being willing to receive more money, like being willing to expose and be you on social media. I mean, it is literally all of these things, right? Anytime we're going into, I'm afraid to do something, when we have more command over our nervous system, we're more willing to show up in a different way, right? And almost to we rework our experience with fear. So, wow, there's just going to be so much there with even just how we navigate fear and what we do with it in order for it to not stop you towards choosing a life that you desire. So, I'm curious where it will go. Someone asked, will there be daily exercises? And I said, I don't know. It might evolve that way. As of now, it is the weekly half-hour call with me. It's insane. I thought I was going to raise the price, and right now I'm just, until further notice, I'm keeping it at the $9.99 a month. Cancel anytime, but like, why would you? Because we need this stuff, right? It's like your gym membership. We do require physical activity regularly. We do require nervous system activation tools regularly and practicing them. So what would it take to choose that and have that be your hygiene? So we will see what it evolves to. I want it to be something that feels really doable. Right now, regulating once a week might not be enough, right? For like intense changes that you want to see, perhaps more is required. And what would it create for you to start with committing once a week, right? What would that create? Because then you are pinged, you're reminded, you're cued. Oh, that's right, nervous system work every week. Oh, that's right, nervous system work, right? It's not this thing where 5 months later you're struggling with panic attacks or something like that, right? This is keeping you mindful in the present. So I love these types of things and calls because they facilitate us remaining plugged in. So I would love to have you in. It's open to join. We are going to start January 4th will be the first call. As of now, you get any calls when you are subscribed. So let's say you join February 1st, you won't get access to any of the January replays. So that's how it is now. It could change in the future, but as of now. So if you are not wanting to miss a single call, I highly recommend you get it now because it's an insane price. So that I'm super excited about. The other thing that is also starting January 4th is my Choosing You Live program. Now, I often and frequently have folks reach out and want to do one-on-one work. And one-on-one work with me currently is a high ticket item. And so at sometimes it's out of folks' financial reach. And so this is the next thing that I generally recommend because my Choosing You program basically includes all of the things that I take my one-on-one folks through. And the folks that do, the 3 or 6 month programs with me also get access to this program because I want our one-on-one calls to be more efficient and effective when they're doing the work on the side, right? So that way our calls can be facilitation out of blind spots rather than me having to teach material, right? That would be really important for their transformation. So I created Choosing You in service of that, right? So we wouldn't have to waste time, so to speak, on a live call, me going through all the ways to set a boundary or, their trauma blueprint specifically or their mother wound, etc., right? So that way we can just kind of get to the root right away. And I'm telling you, it creates change so much faster. When my one-on-one clients commit to the Choosing You program, they are seeing instant results. It's insane. So this program that I'm doing live basically is a course along with 4 group calls. And I've done this program a lot of different ways in a group format before. It's also been known as Exploring Your Purpose. and has all sorts of names before, just exploring your purpose, and now it's choosing you. But it had an identity shift. But really, I just wanted to kind of really capture the energy of what it truly is. So the course portion includes four different courses. And the main one is Exploring Your Purpose, is that course. The other 3 courses, one is a telecall series, then the other is Subconscious Reprogramming, and then my Heal a Dysregulated Nervous System course. So I believe I have to look at what the telecalls go through. I think it's like doubt and whatnot. It's on the website. But what I wanted to talk to you about now was really what's in Exploring Your Purpose, because this is like the big daddy of courses. And it's 12 weeks, so to speak. I've broken up into 12 weeks, but of modules going through step by step how I would take someone through a transformational experience with no stone left unturned. So this is incorporating, my 13 years now of being in the field of psychology, as well as also coaching, etc., and how I've witnessed transformation. And so you start off with taking inventory. Where are you at? What are your values? Do you even know what your values are? And really kind of doing a self-assessment, right? We can't make any changes until we are aware of what is happening. And so that's where we start with this whole assessment inventory. And there's always, with each week, there's also like tasks and homework and whatnot for you to follow along, right? So yes, this is self-driven, and the point of doing it live this round in January is that there's going to be some accountability, right, with the group calls. So that's the first week. Your second week is all about cultivating safety. So now that you're kind of aware of where you're functioning from, we take a deep dive into what does safety look like for you. So this is like really all your nervous system stuff, right? And so this is where you might offshoot into this nervous system course as well. But really we're looking at where do you feel unsafe that therefore you're not able to set the boundary, or you're not feeling safe to receive more money, or you're not feeling safe to leave your 9-to-5. What is it around that? So really starting to kind of change your vibrational set point is what we do here. And I start that really early on because I want you to get the most bang for your buck, if you know what I mean, right? I'm all about efficiency. And so there's a very intentional reason why I have this step by step, right? It's like you could piecemeal all this information online together, but it takes a long time, right? And you could be going out of order, which is really what causes people a lot of frustration, right? It's just when people are asking me, well, how do I do this? I'm like, well, it's literally step by step in my Choosing You program. Like it's literally right there. I'm like basically hand holding you through it. So after you're kind of having more awareness around how your nervous system is functioning and where you're at, then we go into week 3, which is the trauma blueprint. So this is all about getting total clarity on what are your trauma responses and how to heal. Now, of course, I can't guarantee that, the course information will heal your trauma specifically. However, I can tell you that my one-on-one clients do not require as much intense one-on-one time once they've gone through this, right? Because they've already applied the tools, they've had so much awareness, enlightenment, clarity, they're choosing different things, and now all of a sudden panic attacks are gone, or now their, lab markers are much better. I work with a lot of folks with chronic illness. So this is something I see a lot, which is so cool. Sleep is better, etc. So the trauma blueprint really goes into all of that and like what are like my favorite specific tools for recovering from trauma. The next week 4 is all about the mother wound. So here we talk about attachment styles, how this really affects all your relationships and how to heal from this. So, right, think codependency. This is that week. So as you get more awareness on that, right, we're really kind of laying the foundation for healing. Week 5 goes into boundaries. So if you follow me on social media, you know I love a good coffee boundary. And I go into exactly kind of what is that, because boundaries are really actually highly nuanced. And there's no way to just say, okay, this is the boundary and you just use it at the end. It's like very different depending on the relationship, what your goal is, whether it's like the boundary is the priority or the relationship is the priority. So I really go into detail and explain how you can practice saying boundaries so that you can feel more comfortable, right? So you have the tools to be able to communicate them much more effectively. Then week 6 and 7, I go through all of my most favorite energy tools. So these are like just everything that I've learned, that I've studied, that I have found so much benefit from. So, I mean, it is just chock full with all my favorite ways to reprogram fast, clear energy, and shift really quickly. So, these are tools that then you can use to facilitate yourself, right? They're tools that I use in session, but you can actually use to facilitate yourself. So, how cool is that? Week 8, then I go into purpose. So that was originally kind of why I created this whole thing, is that a lot of folks were coming to me with a lack of clarity on their purpose and what was going to light them up in life. And so it's funny that it doesn't come up, since that course is called Exploring Your Purpose, till week 8. But the point is, once you've done all this foundational healing work, already you're a different person. You are different cellularly, right? You're vibrating at a different frequency. And so likely your awareness of what you desire has shifted. Because if we had started with purpose on the first week, it would probably look a lot different, right, prior to the healing work. So this is why it's much further along. So I have lots of tools in here for you to get total clarity on what you came here to do, what lights you up, right? And so then we roll into week 9 with abundance and manifestation, because you came here to be abundant. You came here to feel good and enjoy life, right? And to receive, whether it be abundant in relationships, abundant in money, abundant in safety, all of that, right? So it's really like abundance and manifestation kind of 101, I would say. And starting to look at your relationship with money and energetics around that and how to manifest specifically. And I tied that right after your purpose because, how does it get better than that? To be abundant from what you love to do, right? It is an old paradigm to work your butt off from 9 to 5 for 40 years in a job you hate. We're not here for that. So, okay. Then we start to round out with a little few topics that tend to pop up at this stage of the game. One being fear and doubt. That is week 10. Fear and doubt is something I hear all the time, right? Doubt and trusting you. And this is partially something based on kind of how we grew up and all sorts of things, but this reality really does not encourage us to trust ourselves. So this one is so impactful with learning how to create self-trust and really getting clear on how we use doubt to stop ourselves from creating. Week 11 then moves on to the ego and intuition and really getting clear on the difference between the two so that you can start to master something I call energy fluency, which really just means, right, becoming fluent in the language of energy, right? How are you perceiving energy? How are you receiving energy? This is everything that informs what we are creating, right? And energy was your first language. So that is something that's really imperative to look at, especially after you've done all this foundational healing work, because now you're going to perceive the energy much more clearly versus if we started earlier when we're too dysregulated. So then week 12, the final week, is all about consciously creating your life. So basically putting all of it together, right? Doing some review in order for it to really solidify your learning, and getting clear on what inspired action is, and really just, addressing any of the kind of what if this happens, that kind of thing. So, wow, there's just so much. There's so much there. And I mean, each week is just massive with all the information. Let's see. So that is the course portion of it. So the live piece is that we're going to have 4 live calls, and it's going to be within a 2-month time frame. So that way you have some time to work on the materials in between. So we'll start on January 4th and then meet bi-weekly from there. Of course, replays are always available, and I would highly encourage you to attend live because that can just change so much. Besides having a community to connect with folks in between who are also in the program. So I love Choosing You. It's been one of my most popular program, my most highly sold courses in there, the nervous system course and exploring your purpose, subconscious reprogramming. So if that is pinging you, if you are looking for the one-stop shop for transformation, if you are tired of going the traditional route, because I can tell you I am not that. I am informed by some of that, right? Because that was the bulk of my training, and I'm really looking at this through a different lens. Hence why I call myself Psychology Done Different. So those are the things that are starting in January. The other things that will continue at this time are my Courage to Choose membership. So my Courage to Choose membership has evolved a bit, and now we are rolling basically in a format of monthly masterclasses. So I love this. I usually do about 1 to 2 calls on some sort of topic. I think we've done 6 now since we've been doing it this style. They've included leading through vulnerability, outcreate the noise, obliterating doubt, because doubt's like all the time here in our world, forget scared, be scary, living beyond judgment, and we just wrapped up receiving the gift of you. And wow, these are just so potent, and it's been so amazing because the bulk of the folks in the membership have been there since the beginning, since we started, I believe, last March 21. And so they've just really evolved and come a long way. And so it's just so cool to see that. I can tell you that I don't know what the masterclass for January will be. It hasn't dropped in my awareness yet. And that's usually kind of how I create. It drops in when it's ready to be created. But we are on a system here. I believe it's the second week usually is when the masterclass is run. And then the 4th week of the month is when there is then a live Q&A for the members. And so that's a chance for them, after the kind of material has integrated, for them to ask questions, what's shifted for them to get a little coaching and facilitation. So this is really also another great, more affordable option, I would say, if folks are wanting more closer proximity to me, because this one's at $99 a month. And currently it's a 3-month commitment. So you also get immediate access to everything. So all of the previous content. So that's huge. I mean, once you get into Courage to Choose, you just have this huge portal of calls and informations and tools and all these things. I mean, I had started it as kind of this pre-recorded thing. So there's some older material in there we were doing workbooks and things like that are still in there, vintage, if you will. And now we're more running it as these kind of live masterclasses, but you get access to it all, the whole portal. So how does it get better than that? I love my Courage to Choose folks. They're amazing. And they're just, it's just such a great space. It's such a great space. And folks feel really comfortable to be vulnerable in there, which I love. I love, love, love. So Courage to Choose will be my ongoing thing. It's been kind of undefined as to who it's for. It's like, if you know and feel pinged like, ooh, that's light, then it's for you, right? It's before I was trying to go into, is this for people pleasers or this is for that? I'm like, no, it's just follow the energy and you will know. Follow the energy and you will know it's for you, right? That's usually what I teach folks, because when you can learn to trust you, it's going to create something totally different for your reality. Okay, is there anything else? The only other way to work with me then would be one-on-one, and I don't know how much longer I will continue to offer that. So if I can't say for sure. I get the sense that it's going to go away at some point. I'm having some awareness around that and what I'm seeking to create here. And I do adore one-on-one work. I love my one-on-one clients, and I just get the energy is shifting there. So if that's pinging you to choose it, I would encourage you to choose it sooner rather than later if you don't want to miss out on that. Again, I'm not totally sure when that might shift. It's just kind of something that I'm aware of. So you have the Nervous System Sanctuary subscription, which is happening. We're starting January 4th. You have the Choosing You program, which currently is, what is that? So it's for the whole course and the entire course, which is normally a $2,000 course. I'm doing the whole course and the live calls for this 2-month kind of container for $1,333. So $1,333. That's insane. That's like what I ran it at its like inaugural price, and I've run it a bunch of times. And I'm aware that folks have a lot going on and they're really seeking to also invest in themselves. And I wanted to make this doable. So there is a payment plan if you require that. And also for my folks that have done or have access to Exploring Your Purpose / Choosing You, I'm inviting you in if you want to jump into these calls for $333. So you can join the calls because you already have the materials. How does it get better than that? That's like insane. I don't normally do group programs at that pricing. So if that's you, there's a link on the page to join. So we have that, and then Courage to Choose. The Courage to Choose membership, if you're wanting kind of that continued facilitation experience, learn a new topic each month. It's just so fun. So I believe that's everything. You know where to find me if you have any questions, but hopefully this clarified a bit everything I have going on, and I would be so excited to work with you and have you in my world in 2023. All right, until next time.